thing is huge.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chaz, this is CK4RC, and we are talking about one of the most requested accessories ever since Hobby Plus launched the best 1/18 scale RTR on the market. I'm talking about the 8x8x8 Terranaut. So what accessory am I talking about? I'm talking about a trailer, dog. Look at this thing. So coming straight from DirectRC, this is the Haulmaster. I think they spelled it like a hallway instead of like a haul, like you haul things. But whatever, this is it. This is the one. We've been waiting for this trailer for so long. And there are similar ones on the market from brands like WPL, but it's not the same as this. This is handcrafted out of aluminum. It's got a matte black finish. These are not mass produced. These are handmade one at a time. So the quality is there. The craftsmanship is there. This thing is heavy duty. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, it's titanium. I already said that. Second of all, look at the leaf spring suspension setup on this thing. Look at that. That's so cool. This is my first RC accessory with a leaf spring suspension. I don't have like a super scale trail truck or anything like that with leaf springs. So this is pretty cool. It's very cool. And one of the other things that I really like about this, it has matching wheels with the Terranaut. And tires too, of course. But the wheels match the Terranaut, so that's pretty cool. So yeah. I mean, here's the trailer. Now, I'm going to get you guys pulled over here to the bench, and we're going to do some measurements, and then we're going to take it outside, and we're going to pull some stuff, because that's what a trailer's for, and then we're going to go over the goods and the bads, because that's what we do here. So, all right, let's get a camera over here, get a closer look at this thing, and then we'll go from there. So get a load of this thing. It is so big. It is so big. So first of all, the transport platform, we're looking at a good 16 inches. So we're talking about 1.4 inches of hauling capacity on this thing. That's crazy. And then if we drop the ramps down and we go from tip to toes on this thing, we are looking at a full 24 inches. That's crazy. An extra 2 feet long of the already biggest, longest 18 scale rig on the market. So that is bonkers. Now, as far as the mounting part goes with getting this thing hooked up to the Terranaut, so it doesn't have any legs under here to kind of set up the hitch at all. So it's kind of a bummer because you can't just back the Terranaut up into it, because you've got that awesome little groove right here. And you can get that to just slide on into the fifth wheel receiver, and voila, just like that. And then having some legs here that would like either fold up or like press up or something, that would be a nice touch. But whatever, I don't know if that is really that necessary. Honestly, it's not, because you hook it up to the truck. You don't have to worry about that stuff. It would be handy for when it's not hooked up to the truck and I've got it sitting on my shelf, and then I could have maybe a truck or something on top of it. I don't know. So that is what we're looking at here. Let me see. Oh, I can rotate this thing freely. There's no hitting. Oh, that's nice. And I think the winch might slide right through. There's a little gap right here. I think the winch might fit right through there. So, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's intentionally designed that way or if it's just a happy accident. But, okay, all right. Well, there it is. I mean, it's a trailer, so there's not a whole lot of features or functions to show off. That's what it looks like. That's how it hooks up. Here's the ramp with the tires, the suspension. Let's go outside. What do you do when your rescue rig needs rescued? Well, how about a tactical rescue rig? How about an 8-wheel truck pulling a 6-wheel truck that's loaded down with a 4-wheel truck? Why not, huh? The length of this thing is crazy. What do you do if you find yourself in a pickle? I think we all know what you do. You turn the front, you turn the rear, and then you give it some gas. And look at the clearance. There is no hitting that rear end. That clearance is so good. And you just pull right on out of the pickle. And once you get some free road, you kick it into high gear and cut it loose. So there is the Haulmaster from DirectRC. Now let's get into the goods and bads of this thing and wrap up the video review on this awesome trailer. All right, so the goods and the bads. Well, first of all, the goods, I've already gone over it. This is handmade titanium, one at a time. These are not mass produced, which means that the craftsmanship is there. The attention to detail is there because they're making them one at a time. Now, the leaf spring suspension, fantastic. The matching wheels and tires, fantastic. Unless you change your wheels and tires on the Terranaut, then not so fantastic. The drop down ramps work great. So that's a cool design. And my favorite part of this trailer, because I wasn't sure if they were going to make this to the WPL measurements. The problem with that would be the tongue of the fifth wheel tongue on the WPL version is a little bit shorter, and it doesn't have the clearance for a full turn without clipping the tail end of the Terranaut. The Haulmaster from DirectRC does not have that problem. As I showed in the driving video, there is plenty of clearance. You can pull out of the tightest jams and utilize all 8-wheel steering without having to worry about any clearance issues with that. So those are the goods. Here's the bads, the drawbacks. First of all, not going to ignore it. The $250 price tag is quite a lot. I'm just going to leave it at that. It is what it is. Like I said, these are not mass produced. They are handmade, so the price reflects that. But it is a high-end premium accessory. So you get what you pay for, but you got to pony up for it. So not going to ignore that, not going to pretend otherwise. For the $250 price tag, I would like to see a little bit more feature-wise. So these ramps work great. It'd be really cool if they were automated. Push a button on your transmitter and have them drop down. That would be really cool. One of the other things that I don't know if this is coincidence or if it was designed this way. I don't know. But right here on the front of the fifth wheel tongue, so there's a little bit of a slot right here. And coincidentally, or not, the winch on the back of the Terranaut kind of lines up with that. So if you need to use the winch to pull something up onto the trailer, you can feed it through that gap and pull it up there. Now, if that wasn't designed that way, then that would be a bad for the design, because you really, that's one of the big features of the Terranaut, is having a working winch on the back. So you want to be able to utilize that. So luckily you can, but like I said, I don't know if that was an intentional design feature or not. The last thing I have to say is, so there's a little sleeve right here on the fifth wheel. It's not the receiver, it's the hitch. The fifth wheel hitch, there's a little sleeve on here and it kind of spins. And I think that's to help make it kind of rotate inside the fifth wheel so it turns and stuff. But that extra width from the sleeve really jams this thing into the fifth wheel receiver. And it makes it really hard to get out. So that part I was not crazy about. And then lastly, the other main thing that I noticed was these tires, they do appear to have foams in them, but they are super soft foams. These would be great on a crawler, but on a trailer, especially when you load it up, you don't want that much compression in your tires. So as you saw in some of the driving footage, when it came up to like a a ledge, the tire would completely depress onto the rim. And that's not really what you want for a trailer. So I would like to see some stiffer foams. I have plenty of foams on hand from swapping out from different tires. So I'm going to swap those out. It's an easy fix, but if you're spending $250 for a trailer, I would like to see it come with stiffer foams. I don't think that is too big of an ask. So DirectRC, if you're watching, stiffer foams in the tires would go a long way. But that's what we got. Overall, I could not be happier with this. Full disclosure, DirectRC sent this to me to review for their channel, and I get the perk of being able to use it for my channel as well and use it with my RCs. So I am super pumped to have it. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be able to have one. So it's up to you, and it's up to your budget, just like with anything else. If you like it and it's in your budget, I absolutely recommend it. It is a super cool accessory to go with the Terranaut to really set it apart from the rest of the field. If it is out of your budget, then it's out of your budget. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I'm not going to say drop everything and miss a house payment and go pick up an RC trailer. I'm not going to say that. So just like with anything, if you like it and you can afford it, cool. If not, that's all right. Move on to the next thing. That's just how the hobby works. So I'm not really here to convince you of what you should get or what you should not get. I'm going to give you the goods and the bads. That's what I'm going to wrap it up with. And that's it. So hit that quadfecta for me before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to hype. Keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners, and if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support, click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.